Can only hope that God can save you nowadays. You gotta be cautious who you pray to. I fear no evil. Church steeples on bloody needles. Political.
The subject that I want to share with you today is this. The time of the church is over and gone. Okay, the time of the church is over. And not only is it over, it's gone.
Yes, sir.
Now, today's message will no doubt be disturbing to some people, especially ministers and church folk who are watching this DVD. But to others, it will be an oasis of relief, because today's message is going to answer a question that many of us have had, even right here in the Afrikan Village. Many of us here have asked the question, why aren't we growing? What's up? What seems to be the problem? And I've had the same question. So many people have been going through the feelings of displacement. It's deep, because a brother in my lodge, who I've known since 1998, but we've hardly ever talked because he's just not a talker, came to me on Thursday after I did my lecture in Columbia with tears in his eyes. And he said, "Doc, help me understand why I feel so empty in my church." He said, "What you said today, what I got from you today is what I go to church looking for. But in my church, I feel empty. I'm not getting anything." Feelings of displacement, feelings of disappointment, feelings of discouragement, feelings about hopelessness, especially about their church. Within the last several weeks, I've had discussions with people about why they don't feel anything anymore when they go to church. People go because they've been raised to go. People go because it's tradition. People go sit up in church because they think it's the right thing to do on Sunday. Well, it's deep, y'all, because I hear words like, "Dr. Hagins, I don't know. I love my church. And my pastor's a good man. But I need more. I need something else." There is a magazine called Ministry Today. I don't know how many of you know about that magazine. And if you have a smartphone, you can actually Google what I'm getting ready to tell you right now and see it for yourself. If you want to, Google Ministry Today, and then attach to that the incredibly disturbing church trend for 2015. Now this, what I'm about to share with you, is in this issue, this month's issue of Ministry Today. And here's what it says. And I'm not going to read the whole article, but I'm going to just give you certain quotes from it. It says, "The most committed people will attend worship service less frequently than ever in 2015. Did y'all hear what I just said? It also says in this article, people who attend church 4 times a month will only go 2 times a month. And it says people who attend church 2 times a month will only go 1 time a month in 2015. So look at somebody and say, y'all, it ain't just here at the Afrikan Village. We're talking about a trend that's taking place. The article goes on to answer why this decline in church attendance has taken place. And it gives as the primary reason, and this I'm quoting from the article, it says, people attend less when their spiritual priorities are less important. Now, when somebody finds it, tell me, y'all see what I'm saying? Because I like, that's why I gave y'all the reference. Just look it up so you can see for yourself. See, I ain't making this up. It says people will attend less because their spiritual priorities are less important. Now, mind you, these are Christians saying this. In other words, most pastors today are blaming the people for their lack of attendance, saying that folk just ain't spiritual no more. Most pastors are saying, well, folk just don't love the Lord no more. Folk don't want to be committed no more. And that's what a lot of preachers are saying. You follow what I'm saying? And then when you don't show up at church, a lot of preachers will call you on the phone and say, don't do God like that. You ain't doing that to God. They give several other reasons too. They say that another reason why church attendance in 2015 is going to decrease tremendously is because of increasing involvement with their children's activities, such as basketball games or volleyball games or soccer games on Sunday. Another reason they write in the article is because people have greater mobility now and the rise of virtual workplaces. So in other words, people's jobs are going to keep them on the move. They got to fly here, they got to fly there, they got to fly, so their jobs are going to keep them so busy. Now this is what the article is saying. And the third reason they say is because people are going to start going to church less because of access to church online. Like y'all doing right now. Why drive to church when I can log on to Black Live TV and hear the message from Dr. Hagins? Or from any of the other ministers. Why do I need to go out there when I can sit home with my rollers in my hair, still in my night clothes and slippers with a cup of coffee and enjoy the service right here in the privacy of my own home? Yeah. And believe me, some of y'all is watching right now live here in St. Louis. See, the whole purpose of this internet broadcast is to reach people who are not here in St. Louis. But we got folks sitting right up here a few blocks away watching us right now. Yeah, technology. Well, brothers and sisters, the ancestors, the universe has been dealing with me about this. If y'all remember some years ago, in fact, I think it might have been, this is 2015, I think I did this message in 2003. So that would have been what? 12 years ago, I did a message called The Demise of the Christian Faith. Because the universe is speaking to me, and I'm still getting it, but last night as I was working on this, it really came clear to me what the problem is. And it's not really a problem. It's a problem to those who don't understand what's going on.
Yeah.
So let me help you understand what's happening so you can deal with the transition a lot better. Can I go into history for a minute? The religion that we know as Christianity, which is the religion that created what is known as the church. The religion called Christianity came into its existence at the beginning of what is called the Age of Pisces. Now, I'm not an astronomer. I'm not an astrologer. I'm a psychologist. I'm a musician. But in reading a little bit about the movement of the heavenly bodies, which is how our ancestors used to live, y'all. That's how we lived. We were a stellar people.
Yes.
We whatever by the movement of the stars in the sky. Well, the age of Pisces lasted for 2,000 years. Before the age of Pisces, it was the age of Taurus, the bull. So, of course, in the Old Testament, supposedly we hear about something called the golden calf, or worshiping the bull or the cow. But around from 2000 BC to 0 AD is the age of Taurus. And from 0 AD to 2000 AD is the age of what is called Pisces. And guess, how many of y'all know anything at all about the zodiac? Okay. What is the symbol for the age of Pisces? The fish. What is the symbol of Jesus? The fish that y'all see on the back of people's cars. Got me? Isn't it deep that this dude said, if he had actually said in the literature, he says, follow me and I will make you what? Fishers of men. He took 2 fish, Pisces, and 2 loaves of bread, which represents feeding the masses, and fed 5,000 people. Now here's the deep thing about it. Once you understand that the church age is the age, or was the age of Pisces, then you understand why I say the time of the church is over and gone. Got me? Because guess what, y'all? We're not in the age of Pisces no more. Right. Okay? In 1968, they came out with this musical called Hair, and then one of the songs in the musical was, "This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius." White folk were singing that while we were still jumping around thinking we in the age of Pisces. Now let's get real deep with this and let's do some biblical application here. Show you how they coded it right in the Bible. Matthew, the 28th chapter, verses 19 and 20. I could go ahead and read it, but I want somebody else to read it because it just sounds better when one of the ministers read it. I like the way that sounds. Matthew 28, verse 19 and 20. What does it say, Karen? Go ahead.
Go ye therefore.
Now I'm sure y'all heard this. We were drilled, at least I was drilled on this, and I drilled the members of my church when I was preaching Christianity on this. This is called the Great Commission. Read it.
Go ye therefore.
Go ye therefore.
And teach all nations.
And teach all nations.
Baptizing them in the name of the Father.
Baptizing them in the name of the Father. And the Son. And of the Holy Ghost. Now check out this part. Go ahead.
Teaching them to observe all things.
Teaching them to observe all things.
Whatsoever I have commanded.
Whatsoever I have commanded you. Now here's the deep part. What does it say? And lo,
I am with you.
I am with you always. Don't read the rest of it. See if the folk know. What does the rest of it say? So y'all are programmed with it too, huh? And lo, I am with you always, even to the end of the world. Now, what has messed us up is we took those words and applied our English vocabulary to it and got us all warped as far as time is concerned. Because the phrase, even to the end of the world, the word world in that verse is not the word cosmos. The word cosmos means the earth, the globe that we live on, the planet. And we think that means, lo, I am with the planet is destroyed. And since the planet ain't destroyed, many folk thinking he's still with us. The word world in that verse is the word aion, which means the age. Now, if you look at it in another translation, anybody got another translation? What does it say, Minister Sharon, in a different translation?
It says right up until the end of the age.
Right up until the end of the what?
Age.
Say it louder, man.
Age.
You still looking down. Tell the folk what it says.
Age.
A-G-E. I am with you until the end of the age. But that was the Piscean age. Are y'all getting this? Which means I ain't with y'all no more. We're not in that age now. Are y'all, is this making sense, people? And you want to know why the churches are drying up? Because that entire spirit, that entire energy of church is gone. It's over. And the reason why a lot of people are feeling bad is because they're trying to hold on to something that don't even exist no more.
Go ahead.
Yeah, buddy. So now we are, and let me tell you a little bit more about the age of Pisces that you might not have known. The age of Pisces, everybody repeat after me. The age of Pisces was an age of deception. All of the stuff that went on in the age of Pisces was about deception, illusion, hidden stuff, being misled, confusion, fraudulent schemes, fantasy world, secrets, fake mysteries. Throughout the entire age of Pisces. So from 0 AD to 2000 AD is when we had all of the stuff that went on in our society, the formulation of the church, which made up a lie. Got me? Went into our motherland, copied and stole our story, fabricated something that ain't even true, and taught it to us as real. The entire age of Pisces was about deception. The world rulers, the wars that went on, under lies, deception. Look at all of the fraudulent things that went on in our economy. During the age of Pisces, the institution known as the home experienced a higher disintegration rate than any other time in history. Because it was an age of deception. It was an age of being misled. All of the false prophecies that came to pass. Every doggone year, or every doggone few years, another claim that the end of the world is coming. People gave up investments because the end of the world is coming. It was an age of deception. Had you thinking stuff that was big, had you thinking things was going to happen that never happened. Had you looking for somebody to come back in the clouds for 2,000 years. According to the story, almost 2,000 years ago, this dude went up in a cloud, supposedly, and told the folk, I'll be back before y'all can even get through the cities of Jerusalem. That's what he told his disciples. Before y'all even have a chance, don't take my word for it, read the 10th chapter of Matthew. You'll see it right there. He told them, as you go, preach saying the kingdom of heaven is at hand, and don't go to Because you know not the day nor the hour that the Son of Man is coming. Imagine for 2,000 years, people sitting around. Parents telling their children, he's on his way back. For 2,000 years. Are y'all getting this?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
The entire age of Pisces was an age of deception and people being misled and bamboozled. So there is no doubt in my mind that there is a major decline in church attendance everywhere.
Right. It's in the news every week.
Yes, everywhere this is happening. And you know why it's a decline? Because people are looking for what doesn't exist anymore. Right. People are becoming disgruntled, disconnected, dissatisfied, displeased, unhappy, irritated, and angry with their church. Angry with the organization that they have supported because people are finding out that they have been deceived. Do y'all not know that people are starting to file lawsuits now against churches and preachers because preachers have been telling them for the last 2,000 years, if you give, it'll be given back to you 100-fold, pressed down, shaken up, and running over. And people ain't got a damn thing back yet. Y'all understand what I'm saying here?
Yes, sir.
People are finding out that the hope that they were given is a false hope. Now, what you have to understand is this: the pastor is legally considered a professional, even if he's ignorant. Legally, he's considered a professional. So if the preacher says if you give $100, God's going to give it back to you 10 times over, and you don't get it back 10 times over, you have grounds to sue him. You didn't know that. If the preacher says to you, all you got to do is have faith in God. If you want to be healed, have faith in God to put your marriage together. See, he's a professional or she's a professional, and we can't say stuff like that. That's why church insurance companies have what's called malpractice insurance for preachers. I told Minister Stewart the other day, I said, don't worry about getting that insurance for me because I don't lie like that. I'm not going to tell you if you do this, God is going to do this for you. I'm not going to tell you that.
Right.
Now, you might hear me say something like, I'm a witness that God will not forsake you. You may hear me say something like that. But I ain't going to promise you're going to get a new house because you give $1,000. I ain't going to do that. No, I don't, You see, nothing is more devastating to a person than to find out that they've been misled. Nothing is more devastating to a person to find out they've been lied to and deceived and manipulated by the person they trusted.
Thank you.
Right. Am I making sense here, y'all?
Yes.
You see, this is about people who have given their lives, given their substance to something that they are finding out does not stand up to the test of scrutiny, analysis, challenge, or undeniable evidence. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
Can I continue?
Yes, sir.
You see, in the past, let me show you the history here. In the past, the masses were kept in the dark about what they were made to believe. That was the Piscean methodology. until the late 16th century when the Bible was finally made available to the people. People didn't have the Bible in the 12th century, 13th century, 9th century, 8th century. No, didn't exist. So everything that people were taught during that Piscean period of time came from the mind and the mouth of the preacher or the Roman Catholic priest. And then they did it in Latin. So folks in there, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. But since he's the man of God, I'm going to sit here and support. And then they were told that if they didn't give their money, that their sins wouldn't be forgiven. In fact, don't take my word for what I'm saying. There was a man, they simply called him the Bishop of London. Make note of it. You can Google it while you're listening to me. The Bishop of London ordered all copies of the Bible to be confiscated. And that was in 1528. The Roman Catholic Church actually ordered this, and if you were found with a copy of the Bible, you were put to death. You know why? Because they did not want you to see that you were being bamboozled. What does a person do when they find out after all these years? Y'all know how many people, even today, because they still holding on to a lie?
Yes.
You know how many people today will travel great distances just to drink a little thing of grape juice in a cup? It's called communion. What does a person do when they find out that communion was not instituted by so-called Jesus Christ? As often as you do this, do it in remembrance of me. This is my, and and that night he took the bread and brake it and said, this is my body which was broken for you. Then he took the cup and drank it and said, this is my blood which will be shed for you. And the mind game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then he went, and the Bible actually builds a self-defense mechanism in it, because it says, if you do not partake of the Lord's body and drink his blood, you have no part in him. So people won't miss communion. Are y'all getting this?
Yes, sir.
I remember when I stopped communion here, when I finally made it plain that it wasn't instituted by Jesus, it wasn't nothing but symbolic cannibalism. Okay, because communion really originated with a European pharaoh called Ptolemy V, king of Egypt. And it was a ritual of his coronation where they ate flesh and drank blood. And the Roman Catholic Church kept that practice going on, calling it the Mass. Had nothing to do with the so-called Jesus Christ. But that was the Piscean age. It was the age of deception.
That's right.
Is this making sense, y'all? So what does a person do when they come to realize that this guy called Barabbas?
All right now.
You remember that?
Oh, yes,
When this guy called Barabbas and Jesus is actually the same person.
That's right. Come on.
What do you do?
Teach.
Please, God.
Well, we have to free somebody. Here's again the age of deception.
Yes, yes.
So according to the Bible, we were taught that the people said, well, give us Barabbas. And Pilate said, well, what shall I do with Jesus? And according to the Bible, under deception, the people said, crucify him. But they didn't teach you growing up that Barabbas' first name was Jesus. They didn't teach you that.
No, they didn't.
They didn't teach you that Barabbas is two words. deception.
Yes.
What does a person do when they come to realize that the so-called first man on the planet, who we've all been taught to call Adam, never existed?
I know it.
What do you do? See, that's the Piscean age. We're going to make up this story about this man that God supposedly created from the dust of the ground and called him Adam. And then we're going to further create the story to say that God looked at him and said, you know what? You by yourself. And that ain't good. So I'm going to make somebody keep you company. Deception. And according to the Bible, God put the man to sleep. And while he was asleep, he took one of his ribs and made a woman. And when Adam woke up, he saw Eve and said, whoa, man. Because she was naked, you know that, right? Deception. The deception is so deep that a lot of theologians actually teach that men got one rib less than the women had. Because God supposedly took one of the ribs. Man, the Piscean age got us all messed up. According to the science of astronomy. Now, let me share something with you. Don't take a word for it. Research it for yourself. According to the science of astronomy. And again, brothers and sisters, who gave astronomy to the world? Our ancestors. We are a stellar people. According to the science of astronomy, the earth rotates on an axis. And the line going through the center of the earth has a slight wobble to it. So it goes through this circular wobble once every 24,000 years.
That's right.
So what astronomers have done is they've taken that 24,000 period and divided it into 12. Which we have today known as the 12 signs of the zodiac. And each sign lasts approximately 2,000 years. Am I making sense here?
Yes, sir.
So for the next 2,000 years, we're going to be in the Aquarian age because it just started. In other words, y'all, I want you to understand this is some deep stuff. See, we are the transitional generation. Because we're still coming out of Pisces as far as people's expectations, people's upbringing, the way we are made to think. We still have that contamination in our minds. Now, our great-great-grandchildren won't have the problem we have. You follow what I'm saying? Because when they'll be born, they'll be well into the age of Aquarius. Our children are deeper into the age of Aquarius than we are. And then you're going to see why in a minute. So look at somebody and say, so we're in for a lot of change. Why is this important to understand? This change to the Aquarian age is important because it changes the astrological conditions of the entire planet. Every person on earth, every entity, every being on earth is going to be changed and influenced by this thing. And I think Minister Stewart, somebody I've shared this with, might bear witness. I've been saying, I said, things are changing, y'all. Things are changing. I'm seeing stuff that just ain't supposed to happen. I'm seeing dogs and cats playing with each other. In the Piscean age, dogs chase cats. A cat will see a dog and take off running. It's a new day now, because now the cats are chasing the dogs. Don't take a word for go on YouTube and see how dogs bark at cats. And that cat let him know he ain't running from him, come back. And the dog take off running. Almost speak English. Ow, 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 no. forces are now coming together in harmony. This is the age of Aquarius. Somebody Google the lyrics, please, right quick, for the song, The Dawning of the Age of Aquarius. It starts off by saying, when the moon is in the 7th house and Jupiter aligns with Mars. I think the rest is, then peace will do something to the planet. Let me know when somebody gets it, because I don't want to quote it wrong. While you're looking for it, let me finish telling you about this age we just came out of. And follow this well so you'll understand this. The Piscean age was dominated by something called hierarchy and power. How many of you ever heard this phrase came out of Shakespeare's Hamlet? To be or not to be, that is the question. That was Piscean philosophical thought. What does it say?
When the moon is in the 7th house.
When the moon is in the 7th house.
And Jupiter
aligns with Mars.
Then peace will guide the planet.
Check it out. Then peace will guide the planet.
And love will steer the stars.
This is the dawning of the age. Did y'all get those lyrics? Okay? Now see, what's happening is those who are in tune with what's happening are falling in line with that. Those who refuse to accept what's happening are going through some serious changes. Instead of peace being in our communities, it's violence. Killing. Wars. You got folk who understand this is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, and they're saying, y'all, let's come together in harmony and peace and love.
Harmony and understanding.
That's what it says, harmony and understanding, yes.
Sympathy and trust abounding.
Yes, you see, that is the Aquarian philosophical thought. But you got some of us who are still Piscean. Still walking around talking about love your enemies when you know good well you don't love them. You only saying it because you were taught that theologically. Woo, man. So, in the Piscean age, the theme was to be or not to be. That is the question. So in order to make a successful and happy life under Piscean philosophical thought or under the church influence, you needed to belong to something. You needed to be a member of something. Am I making sense? So the theme for Piscean thinking is I believe. And then you really had no choice because you had no evidence. The teachers, the leaders of that time period did not give you what you needed to have so that you could know. The whole thing was just believe, just believe, just believe, just believe, just believe. And you believed a lie. But you was happy because you believed it. They told you that if you just believe. If you just believe. They used to sing a song in church. Only believe. Only believe. All things are possible. Some of y'all are feeling it. I'm singing this, some of y'all feeling. All things are possible if you only believe. Y'all getting this? believing no more, people. See, in Piscean philosophical thought, the phrase was, I believe. I'm a believer. We used to sing it here. Yeah, I'm a believer. Yeah. In the age of Aquarius, it's about I know. People email me all the time to listen to Black Liberation Radio, and they say, well, Dr. Hagins, do you believe? And I write them back. It ain't got nothing to do with belief. Either I know or I don't know. That's right. To believe a thing means you don't know a thing. That's right. That's right. That's right. So the keys to life during the church age were hidden and secret in the halls of power and in the churches and to the ecclesiastical order. You see, in the church or Piscean age, you didn't need knowledge. Let me show you how deep this programming is. Remember I told you about the age of deception? Let me show you how deep this programming is. Do you not know that the Bible says that after Jesus was resurrected, he came into the upper room where the disciples were gathered. And there was a disciple called Doubting Thomas. Follow this deception. And Thomas said, I ain't going to believe it's him. I don't believe it. See, Thomas was on his way to Aquarius. See, Thomas said, I don't believe it. I ain't going to believe it. Then he said, I'm not going to believe it until I put my finger in the nail holes of his hand and in the spear hole in his side. And then according to the story, Jesus said, well, come hither, Thomas, and put your finger in the holes in my hand. And when Thomas put his finger in the holes of his hand, then the Bible says he fell on his knees and said, my Lord and my God, I believe. Now notice the psychology here. Then the Bible goes on to say that Jesus said to Thomas, you believe because you have seen. Right. The psychology, notice what he's going to say. He said, but blessed are those who believe and have not seen. Now get this. In other words, he's saying that people who don't have evidence are more blessed than those who are blindly believing. If you don't believe, if you don't see, you're more blessed if you believe. Look at somebody next to you and say, if you believe blindly, you are acting like a fool. Blind faith is not, that don't work in the age of Aquarius, y'all. See, this was the foundation of human consciousness and experience for the last 2,000 years. Everything, now follow this, and I fit in here too. Everything that we learn from our parents, that they learned from their parents, who learned it from their parents. Going back for the last 2,000 years, it was structured, influenced, and shaped by the church. Or the age of Pisces. Everybody say this with me. And now all that is changing. What is uncomfortable for many is that the Piscean or church way of doing things is all that most people know. The Piscean age, the church way of doing things is all that most people know. And how many times have you heard me say, you can't teach what you don't know. You can't even talk about what you don't know. And we are the transitional generation. So we're going to go through changes. Woo! The changes that we're going to keep going through is how deep this goes. And y'all, again, all this is coded right in the Bible. Jesus told his disciples, go up the road. Go up the road. You will find a man carrying a pitcher of water.
Yeah.
Follow him into his house. Don't believe me? Look at Luke 22 and 10. That's where it is. Luke 22 and 10. Jesus said to his disciples, y'all listen, I'm getting ready to, my time is about up here. They getting ready to kill me. I'm getting ready to go off the scene. But what I want y'all to do is go up the road a little bit and you'll see a man carrying a pitcher of water. What is the zodiac sign for Aquarius? Water. The water bearer, a man carrying a pitcher of water. And the verse says, follow him into his house. Do y'all see it there yet? Anybody see it? Anybody pull up the scripture and see it? Follow him into his house. You see, people still have the church or Piscean mindset. People that still have that mindset, follow me, will not be able to smoothly transition into the Aquarian period of time. And the reason why is because you'll find it hard to agree with or even trust those who are not staying within your parameter or circumference of awareness. Are y'all getting this? He's operating outside my parameter of thought. That's because we're in two different time periods, dude. I'm one of the messengers to take us into the age of Aquarius. Another message I preached, I don't know if y'all remember it. Remember I preached this message, no more church? Yeah. Y'all remember that? No more church? The demise of the Christian faith? The ancestors were speaking through me. I didn't understand, but now it's clear. Yeah. Now let me tell you about the age of Aquarius as I get ready to close this. The Aquarian age is not dominated by belief like the Piscean age is. The Aquarian age is dominated by information. The key to the astrological sign of Aquarius, as I told you, is not I believe, I know. We are now in the age of information, family. A secret. Ain't no more secret knowledge. No. All you got to do is sit at your computer terminal and find out anything you want to know now. Say that. Even where people live. Their address. Just type in their name and it all comes up. Their phone number. Yes, sir. You can type in a person's name and tell you who's related to them, their children, and all that kind of stuff. Is available right at your fingertips. Where the Piscean age was what's called an organized vertical structure, up and down hierarchy. The Aquarian age is horizontal. Everybody's on the same level of ability to learn. That's right. There's no excuse for being ignorant now. That time is gone. See, in the past, the preacher didn't teach us that. Right. When I came to this city, one of the things preachers were saying about me, ain't nobody ever heard no mess like that before. Right. Where he come from talking all this stuff? Right. But they were still in that Piscean thinking. That they didn't learn it in Sunday school, it don't exist. Preacher came against me here. I was in his library. I said, man, and he said, Hagins, no, where you get that stuff from? I said, it's in that book right there on your library shelf. That book right there, Doc. Let me show it to you. I got the book off his library shelf, opened the book to the page, put it in front of me. He said, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. He looked up at me and said, I don't want to see that. You know why he didn't want to see it? Because it would have meant change.
That's correct.
See, once you find out stuff that you didn't know, you got a decision to make, dude.
Yes, sir.
Because knowledge brings change, like it or not. In this new age of Aquarius, the focus is no longer on your identity and existence. Who are you? I'm a deacon in my church. That stuff don't matter no more. That's the Piscean age. And see, you'd be surprised how many folk have said to me, Doc, I want to come over to the Afrikan Village, but I'm an officer in my church. And then turn around and come to me months or years later, I ain't getting nothing out of church. Then what you an officer there for then? Why are you still, thank you, why are you still there? You see, in the Aquarian age, it's not about your identity and existence in order to be or not to be. Now, it's on accepting who you are as a person. See, in the Piscean age, we experience validation from other people. And we look for that. We look for other people to validate us, honor us, recognize us, pat us on the back. Look at somebody next to you and say, that time is gone. You need to know who you are so you can look in the daggone mirror and acknowledge and pat yourself on the back. You don't need to be validated by somebody else.
That's right.
Know who you are. Know what you are. Respect your skills and abilities. Don't do stuff to be seen. Do stuff simply because it's the right thing to do. Buddy, in this new age or time period, it's not about being recognized in an organization. It's about the fact that you are ready to accept the fact that you have knowledge, you have wisdom within yourself to sustain yourself. Let me use an analogy if I can. This is the best way I can make this clear to you. In the Piscean age, it was about you being a car in the train, a train car. And you look for the locomotive to pull you behind down the track. Y'all getting this? But now we in the age of Aquarius. Ain't no more locomotive pulling all these doggone cars down the track. In the age of Aquarius, you ought to be your own locomotive. Not a car waiting for the locomotive to pull you down the track. Y'all ain't getting this. That day is gone, man. It's your responsibility to stay on the tracks now. Now the thing is, how do you do that? That's where the teacher comes in. Y'all be surprised. In fact, I forgot to bring the audio clip, so I wanted you to hear it. You'd be surprised the people that call and email me every week saying, Dr. Hagins, thank you. You set me free just from listening to an internet. You helped me get my life together. You saved my life. Man, thank you. In other words, they are becoming their own locomotive. They're not looking for people to lead them somewhere. That's Piscean thinking. When you understand that you are the transitional generation, it's easier to comprehend what's happening in the world over the last 50 years. It didn't just start. My mom used to call me every Monday morning, and she used to say, Raymond, I don't understand these folk no more. Church ain't like it used to be. And I couldn't break it down to her then. She said, folk just ain't faithful no more. Folk just don't want to come to church no more. And I couldn't tell her why. All I could say is, I hear you, Mom. And then she'd turn around and say, I'll be glad when the Lord come back. But when he come back, we ain't have to put up with this stuff no more. And I say, I hear you, Mom. That's all I could say. And you know what? I don't know if she would have been able to grasp if I could have explained this to her. You know why? Because her assignment was the Piscean time period. Got me? Here we are now. It's about self-awareness now. We hear more talk about self-improvement now. Folk are getting into yoga like never before. Folk didn't get into yoga in the Piscean age period. Folk went on a shut-in. They fasted. They got to church on Friday night and stayed till Sunday. We going on a shut-in. Folk could get their pillows and their blankets, going to church so they could sleep on the pew because they want to be in the presence of God. But now in the Aquarian age, you understand that the presence of God ain't got nothing to do with this building. Are y'all getting this?
Yes, sir.
In the Aquarian age, you understand that the energy of the universe is in you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You don't have to come here to get power.
Right.
It's deep, man. I'm thinking back on things I used to say when I first came here, and I couldn't understand what was coming out of my mouth. I remember one Sunday, I said, y'all wait until Sunday to come up here and get on your knees and get power. And folk got offended when I said that, but I was trying to let them know that day is gone. Why do you have to see Baptist churches are good for that? Folk do hellish things all week long and run to the altar on Sunday. And get up crying. And then they start singing, take your burden to the Lord and leave it there. Because you done left all your mess at the altar. Like that. Come on, people. Look at somebody and say, that day is gone. That day is gone, man. You ought to carry your altar with you. Right in here. And when you do something that transgresses ma'at, get it straight. Right then, right there on the spot before you go another further. Buddy. This shift, as Bishop Carlton Pearson calls it, is bringing out the best in some of us, and guess what, y'all? It's bringing out the worst in some people too. Some people have already prepared themselves for this change of time period administration by being sensitive to the move of things. Others are stubborn and intimidated by the changes that are taking place. They don't understand what's going on, so they want to return to the golden age of the way things used to be. Let us all go back to the old landmark. Let us all go back to the old landmark. Let us all go back to the old landmark where we're singing in the praises of the Lord. Now, what's deep about it is the churches that sing stuff like that got about 3 or 4 folks sitting up in there. And then you know what they do? Let me show you how they play the game with themselves, Joe. They psych themselves out and say, well, ain't but a couple of us in here tonight, praise the Lord. But the Bible says, where there's 2 or 3 gathered in my name, there I am in the midst of them. Hallelujah! And so we bamboozle our own self, man. Oh my God. Everybody repeat after me. Memorize this down. Transformation is never a painless process. That's where we are, people. I understand it now. We're in the phase of transforming here. We're transitioning. We're transforming from the Piscean way of doing things to the Aquarian way of doing things. And you got to let that old way go. One of the worst things you can do is try to move into a new way, holding on to old stuff. It don't work. People do that with relationships. People meet somebody new, and they bring all their old memories with them into the new relationship. And they look at each other and say, why are you acting like that? And the other person say, what? Acting like what? I know what's going on in your mind. How you know what's going on in your mind? How you know what's going on? What are you talking about? I ain't stupid. Don't try to act like I'm stupid. I ain't no fool. That's old baggage coming with you into a new house. Let me move on. I better move on. Okay. Oh, buddy. All right, I don't know what made me go there. Yeah. Transformation is never a painless process. In fact, look at it this way. How many of y'all have ever done a detox before? A body detox. Think what happens to your body when you're detoxing. When you first start detoxing, when you first started, you don't even feel a change for the first couple of days. Okay? But around that third, fourth day, your body starts going through changes. And the changes can be so severe that you begin to doubt the detox. You say, well, maybe I'm doing something wrong. No. Your body is getting ready to get rid of all that stuff that's been piled up in your colon for the last 5 years.
Say that.
You know what I'm saying? And so your body is breaking that stuff loose so it can come out of you.
That's right.
That's what detoxing is. So moving from the Piscean age into the Aquarian age, we have to detox our minds. We have to detox our spirit so that we can flow comfortably into this new period of time. See everybody on the planet going through a detox, and you want to know why folk are angry. People are detoxing, socially detoxing, academically detoxing, spiritually detoxing. And you want to look at each other and say, you full of. Yeah. Because you're detoxing. You ought to say, yeah, you're right, I am. But it won't be long before it's all out though. Let them know I'm getting ready to get rid of this stuff, Jack. I'm getting ready to clear up my skin. I'm getting ready to get more energy. I'm getting ready to clear my eyes up. And next time you see me, my eyes are going to be bright. They ain't going to be brown. That went over some people's head. Some people got it though. In other words, brothers, let's get ready to close. The more you understand what is happening, the more you can go through the changes of transition here without losing your balance and stability. Yo, let me be honest with you. I am so thankful to God for giving me this in my spirit. Because it helps stabilize me. It's like I'm saying, God, what's going on? What's going on? Because see, you got to remember, I grew up under a Piscean philosophy. Now seeing the Aquarian philosophy is like, I see what my mom even said when she preached here, unconscious preparation. I see where I was going all along, but I was traditional in my behavior. Do you understand what I'm saying? So now what we must do is navigate through our transition.
Yeah.
And the best way to do that is, first of all, understand that we can't do that. Look at somebody next to you and say, we can't navigate through this. Look back at them and say, you have to navigate through this. It's personal. You follow what I'm saying? In other words, the awareness that I may get to navigate through this, okay, I can't make you like that too. You have to get it for yourself. Now that's one of the things the old folk used to say. You got to know God for yourself. Can't count on what I got. So Write this down. I must have a daily spiritual practice. I must have a daily spiritual practice. Now, I can't tell you what that practice should be, because that would be to create another religion. You got what I'm saying? You have to decide what your daily spiritual practice is. Your daily spiritual practice might be getting up early in the morning and going for a walk at sunrise. Just so that you can see the glory of nature. The glory of God through nature. And just getting that fresh air early in the morning. That may be your daily spiritual practice. Your daily spiritual practice may be drinking 16 ounces of warm water first thing in the morning when you wake up. I can't tell you. Your daily spiritual practice may be getting up and just go sitting on the floor in a corner and breathe and just be still and meditate. I can't tell you what to do, but I can tell you this. Do something. The second thing is, don't give in to fear. Don't give in to despair. Don't give in to discouragement. Don't give in to anger. Am I making sense? See, what happens, y'all, is when stuff starts happening and we start going through a spiritual detox, a social see, trust me, when you start detoxing socially, that means a lot of folk that used to hang on to your... You have to get rid of them. You're detoxing. In fact, you'll find out that some people are just toxic. Some people are just toxic. Some people is just straight up negative energy. And they love to attach themselves to you because you're positive energy. Now the deep thing about it is if you're not careful, they will drain your positive energy. So in your detoxing, you may have to let some folk go. Even if they're members of your family. Because they're draining you.
So true.
Don't give in to fear. You know what, y'all? I'm so tired of... I almost deleted my Facebook account the other day. Because ain't nothing but so much negative stuff on there. And now I'm at the place, when I'm scrolling through my Facebook page, all I see is people posting people fighting. And I'm so weary of watching people take their cell phones and record people getting beat up instead of helping them or assisting them. I watched the other day on Facebook, this lady was in a horrible car accident. Horrible car accident. And the person who ran over to the car, over with their phone, recording her in the doggone car instead of calling 911. And then put it on Facebook. That's the society that we're in. We got to detox ourselves from this stuff. So I'm at the place now, and I put it out there, I said, you know, I'm just going to, you post somebody fighting, I automatically delete you. Real simple.
I don't like it.
Got to get that out of my viscera. I don't want that in my space.
Yes.
You can't watch the news. Ain't nothing good on the news. Nothing good on the news. But you got some folk who won't miss it. They won't miss the news. They need to know what's going on. So they can call you and tell you what's going on. Child, did you hear about that man that got shot and killed? What man? I don't know. I don't know. It was on the news. I figured maybe you knew. That's the kind of stuff we do, man. Oh, God. The third thing is don't be a victim. Everybody repeat after me. I have the power to change my life. I'm not going to give that power away to anyone by blaming them or resenting them. See, that's what we want to do. We want to blame others for stuff that ain't right in our life. going through this if you call me. You know? You're responsible for your own happiness, people.
That's right.
You are responsible for your grace.
Right.
Don't buy into any view of reality in which you are not 100% responsible for making your life work. Can't nobody make your life work but you. You ever hear this phrase, I'm looking for somebody who's going to make me happy? You ever hear that before? You're going to be looking for a long time. See this? And see what happens is we confuse being impressed with being happy. We meet somebody and we get impressed. And we think, oh, they can make me happy. No, you were impressed. Give it about 6 months. When you find out that first impression wasn't a real person, that was the mask that you met. Okay? The fourth point is this: be a source of light to someone else. Be a source of light to someone else. Now, follow this well. Don't take that and run with it. I didn't say be a flashlight or a floodlight. I said be a source of light. Have enough sense to know when a person only needs a candle. Did y'all get what I just said? Yes, I meant to say thank you, Elder Lucas, because you spoke so good today. Have enough sense to know when a person only needs a candle. We want to go in with a floodlight. And we end up doing more harm than good. If you remember the message I did, Living in the Dark, I started the message off this way. I said, when a person has lived in a cave for so many years, and the sun, the light, suddenly appears, the sun does more harm than good, because that which is designed to help them see ended up blinding them. Did you get that? Because all their eyes is used to is the dark. Ignorance. That's what dark represents. So you come along with a floodlight and you want to rescue them from their ignorance, and you end up destroying them and blinding them. It's better to come with a candle. Give them a little bit of knowledge. Got what I'm saying?
That's what I said.
The more people who consciously choose to embrace the Aquarian time period, the easier this transformation will go for not just you, but for our communities as well. Find a way to spread your light. It's deep because after lecturing the brothers in the Grand Lodge, Grand Session this week, I said, y'all, I have a new meaning. I have a new understanding now of that song, This Little Light of Mine. I'm gonna let it shine, this little light of mine. I'm not trying to go in with a floodlight, just a little bit. And I told the brothers that. I said, man, I can share some stuff in here with y'all now that messed y'all completely up. Messed you up. You won't even want to be a Mason no more. Find out you've been carrying out some practices that don't even come from Africa. I said, but I'm not here to do that to you. I'm here to just drop just a little bit of light on you.
All right now.
And see, as a result of dropping that little bit of light, they asked me to come back and be the speaker again next week. Yeah. In fact, if Brother Troy was here, he'd tell you one of the brothers that came to me is an old man here in Masonry. And he's from the old school. And he let everybody know. As you say, everybody know. He let everybody know. This is the way it is, and it ain't changing. And that brother, that elder, came to me after the lecture on Thursday, and he said, Dr. Ray, you opened my eyes today. And I just dropped a little bit that I knew he could handle.
Exactly.
You follow what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So brothers and sisters, we are at a critical, sensitive point in history. The deception has passed away. The truth has risen. And some people are about to lose their minds. That's right. Some will say that the Bible said this was going to happen. The Bible said folks were going to come along with a strange gospel. They're going to say that's what the Bible said. This is the great apostasy. Yeah, I'll be the first to tell you. I am an apostate. I don't mind telling you that. See, years ago when I was preaching the program, I thought apostasy was a horrible thing. An apostate is one who turns away from what they used to think. I'm an apostate. Unapologetically. I proudly say I am an apostate. I turned away from the lies I was taught. And I want you to be apostates. Turn away from the program that kept you under mind control and believing something was going to happen that would never happen. Just like me, the eyes of our people, and it's really happening among our young people. Our young people going off to school, going to black studies, taking black study courses, and finding out that we existed before slavery. And they're coming back to their pastor, asking them about Pharaoh Khufu and Khafre and Menkaure. They're coming back to their pastor saying, Pastor, tell me about Imhotep. Pastors are looking at them saying, you don't need to know all that. Don't get an inquiring spirit now. Wandering spirit ain't good for you. When people start talking to you like that, leave. Don't even deal with it, because his ego won't let him tell you, I don't know who Imhotep is. His ego won't let him tell you that. Because he's the pastor. He's the man of God. Got a cross this big. He's supposed to know everything. He ain't gonna let you know he's ignorant. Yeah. So no longer can you allow yourself to be psychologically and spiritually deceived. No longer can you walk around in the darkness of the propaganda and psychology of a people who have no knowledge of the things of God anyway. Y'all grabbing what I'm saying? No longer can you attack and destroy each other in the name of a religion that you didn't make up. No longer can you continue to give your finances. I need to be talking to y'all out there. You don't need to be continue to give your finances and your support to a ministry that ain't helping you grow. Right. Sitting in church, that's the only place that we go to where we don't learn and we keep paying for it. Are y'all hearing this? We got folk who've been sitting up in church 30, 35, 40, 45, 50 years hearing the same 5 doggone sermons over and over and over and over again, waiting on the Lord to come back. And you pay your tithes before you pay your bills. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, that disturbs me. That disturbs me that there's so many churches around here teaching the lie religiously, getting great financial support. And then we have a place where the truth is being taught and we can't pay our bills. Something wrong with that picture. No longer can you continue to give your support to that kind of a program. No longer can you expect a God who doesn't even look like you to make things better for you. Y'all know we look for a God that don't look like us. You know that, right? That day is gone, man. That day is over. Now you look in the mirror and see the expression of God. Yes. Yes. At least you ought to. You want to see God? Go look in the mirror. Yes. Yes. And look at yourself and say, ooh, I'm a good-looking God. Look at me. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. That's right. Look at yourself. Stop putting yourself down. You're not a sinner. You weren't in sin.
That's right.
You weren't born depraved.
Right.
You were a gift